Hey, this is Mike from Mike and the Moon Pies, coming to you live from the Buc-ee's on 35 in Temple. You're listening to this episode of BadTruth Podcast. Remember, Steak Night at the Prairie Rose hits iTunes, Spotify, and Google Play this Friday, February the 2nd. Yes.
From the distinguished Yellow Dog Studios in the heart of Wimberley, Texas, you're listening to the BadTruth Podcast with your hosts, Michael and Adam.
I don't think Facebook ever lies.
You don't think so?
I don't think so at all. That's how it works.
Hey, Adam.
How's it going, Michael?
Would it kill a truck driver to use a turn signal once? I hate trucks.
What happened?
I hate all trucks.
Yeah.
Are trucks cool?
I mean, they do cool things. They transport cool stuff.
No, they don't.
They don't?
When you're ready to move and your friend has the pickup truck,
Yeah.
he can't do it that day.
Oh, no, of course.
Never can do it.
Yeah.
The one guy you know.
With the truck.
Yeah, he has to park halfway on the curb downtown.
I feel like
Can't park anywhere.
There's an age where you stop offering your moving services.
I hate pickup trucks. They shouldn't be in the city.
Not there yet.
They shouldn't be in the city.
See, it's good to know that Matt, you can call Matt up and he will help you move.
What are you drinking over there?
He's got a clean canteen.
It's Jaeger, no ice.
Is that a 512 or is that a 512 beer?
Yeah, it's 512.
Of course.
People call it 512 beers.
Yeah.
All right.
They don't know what's up.
It's a 51 too.
All right, we have a guest.
We have a guest this
I'm going to
episode.
let the whole truck thing slide.
Yeah.
Although I feel like I try to pass trucks a lot. I feel like for every 10 trucks I pass, an angel gets its wings.
When you walked past my truck on the way in here today, did that spark the memory for you?
Is that a CSI truck out there?
Oh, you're talking about the band.
Not that one.
Oh, okay.
You're talking the Isaac Jacob Band.
That's okay.
Sponsored.
All right, well, we have a special guest today,
We do.
Matt.
Hello.
Matt Naftis.
Hello. Good to be here, everybody.
How do you pronounce his last name of yours?
You nailed it, Naftis.
Is that like the name of that Mexican restaurant chain that no one goes to?
Yes, Ninfa's. Close.
Oh. Okay. It's different.
Also a fantastic establishment.
Okay.
Nymphas.
What are we talking? What are we doing? Oh, we're doing Steamboat today.
We're going to talk about Steamboat Springs, Colorado.
Guess who's the luckiest one in this room?
Would that be you?
It'd
'Cause
be
you
me,
missed it.
because I didn't go.
Because you didn't go. Well, you stayed in Texas where it was freezing cold. Colder than Steamboat
Much
Springs.
colder.
Adam, this episode's all you, man.
Man,
Lay it out on what the hell happened up there.
what happened this year in Steamboat Springs? Well, Mr. Naftis and I are the production managers of
Explain what that means to
Musicfest.
people who have no idea what that means.
Well, Adam, you want to take this one?
What is? I do production. I don't know what that means.
We basically have to deal with all the problems. No, our job is to, they tell us where our stages are, and we kind of help put together how the sound's going to run, the setup of the bands coming in and out, sound checks and stuff like that, transportation. We kind of have to deal with, beforehand, we deal with just the setup of the entire festival. We don't deal with rooms and all that sort of stuff. We deal with all the actual shows,
Logistics,
And-
timing, scheduling.
all that
Oh,
stuff.
yeah, every bit of it.
So you have a huge list day of what's going on.
We have a
half hour by half hour.
14-page to-do list.
Is it like?
As a matter of fact.
is it in
Yeah.
is it in 15-minute blocks?
It's just based on the time of every venue.
Yeah,
so
more
we
of a
don't even do it.
checklist.
Yeah.
So who would call someone for that? Like, hey, we need some guys. They're going to pretty much babysit all these amateur bands that are up here.
Well, what we do is we end up having, as this has progressed and gotten larger, we have our pool of stage managers and everything from, some road managers and stuff that we actually just hire while they're up there.
So you're not actually doing any physical labor.
Well, I wouldn't say that.
Are you moving anything? Are you wrapping anything? Are you pushing anything?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
You
We
are?
do, we do
the
it all.
above, and we're, on ladders, putting up banners.
Oh, you are? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
We have to deal with all that. Whatever problems kind of arise, we end up getting in there and fixing them when musicians can't make it, or we deal with
Staff shows up late to something. Kind of all of the above, yeah.
when
Could I do this job? Could I produce up there?
do you want to try? It's fun.
Am I talking myself into
do
going
you-
to Steamboat?
do you have any patience whatsoever?
What is wrong with me?
That's the biggest thing right there. It's patience and not flying off the handle, but just getting the job done. That's
All we
needed.
need is a little patience. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of it.
Whoa, off mic.
A lot of it has to do with knowing how to make problems go away, which is like so a bus is stuck. And who do we
First
call?
question, why did you bring your bus up here? In the mountains, in the snow.
We
Good
make
job.
it easy.
We don't have time to ask that question to the band. We just have to fix
Okay,
the
you
move
solve
the bus.
you solve the problems. You don't you can't. Okay, so how about I can be the guy before the production, the production guy,
Be the
where I go
pre-production
when
manager.
you talk to everyone on your list and go, how are you getting up here? First question. We're gonna drive. No, you're not.
It seems that we deal with a lot of bands that have figured out like, oh, well, you have backline everywhere, so why don't we make this a fly date?
They're catching on.
Who's still bringing their own gear up there?
50% of them.
Yeah.
Who can't play with their own special amp or their drums or cymbals? Come on, you're in the mountains. It's dry. At the altitude, nothing's gonna sound right.
It's a resort town that we're in.
How come my amp just doesn't sound right? Well, yeah, maybe because we're at what's the altitude there?
I think 8,000.
Something like
it's
that. Yeah.
6 at the base, 8,000 up top.
Yeah,
we
because
get pretty high out there.
it's 8,000 feet, dude. That's why your amp sounds like shit. You could have just used one of the free ones here and have your pristine amp at home.
Yeah. An old story. We have the outdoor stage, and one year, I think when I think it was Kyle. No, it was Randy was playing, and John Michael Whitby was playing keys with Randy, and he grabbed and started complaining that his keyboard wasn't working. And it's like, dude, it's -2 degrees.
That's
and you're on a
electronics,
digital
buddy.
keyboard. Guess what's not going to work? Your digital keyboard.
Yeah, that actually happened to Kyle a year or two after that with Travis Moore. Yeah, his piano just stopped working.
Yeah, it's like it's too cold for that digital piece of gear.
Okay, as pre-production for Steamboat next year, why are you bringing a keyboard up here?
They got to have their piano,
Bring an accordion.
which would make it awesome and cool.
Yeah, bring an accordion
A
instead.
good kazoo road case. Yep.
Yeah, that would actually be awesome.
There's
I
no
have
batteries in a accordion, is there?
This shouldn't be.
No, so you can
If,
play.
if you got batteries, you're doing it wrong.
So you can play that in any type of weather.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Or a
Okay.
guitar.
All right. So what else? So you got the big list. Okay. Let me ask you this:
Yes.
was there ever a situation where you called someone on that piece of paper to get information from them and they answered on the first try? Or
We usually answer on the first try.
Yeah.
So every time I call Adam, he would tip me.
Yeah, we answer each other. Staff
Yeah.
answers each other.
you're trying to get in touch with an act. I'm not going to call them artists anymore. An act.
An act.
Yeah.
You're trying to reach an act, and you got them the person that you needed on the first attempt calling them.
It's funny. I feel like the more I don't want to use the word professional, but the bigger as the acts grow, they're the ones that actually answer and call.
They get easier. Yeah. The guys who have been doing it for 5, 6, 7, 10, 15 years, they kind of know it. You know, I'll talk to the tour manager for one of the big bands on, the outdoor stage the night before, and he knows the drill. You know, he's like, yeah, we're not bringing the bus down there, man. Just
Okay. What would be ideal when you make this phone call? Wait a minute. I'm old now. Do you call people? Is that professional, or are you texting an act?
Most of the time, you're texting,
You're texting somebody, an
unless
act.
it's something
Aw.
it's something to deal with.
I'm old school. I like to talk on the phone.
You email any of these people?
Very rarely. I try not to email. A text just seems to be you get a response right away.
Yeah.
This doesn't seem professional to me, a text.
It's become the, you could be doing another job and look down and answer the question and go, rather than having to, okay, here's 5 minutes on the phone.
Because y'all's lives are so busy.
And it's when you're up in Steamboat. I mean,
Yeah.
on average, when the festival's going, we're probably doing 7:30 a.m. to 2:30 or 3 a.m.
I think my job would start around 11.
Yeah, and probably end about 5.
Pre-production job there. You can find me at the one place that sells grilled chicken sandwiches for like $15 for a grilled chicken
There's
sandwich.
a few of those places.
There's a couple of those.
Fries is like extra $3-4.
And that's a resort town right there.
Yeah. Okay, so you got all that going. Got the big list. Now, how many of these people can you get answers? See, I might be asking too much there. You reach the guy on the first attempt, and you get the answers that you need.
Honestly, we usually get once you get a hold of somebody, I feel like you normally get the answers you need. There's probably 5% that
Very, very small percentage of issues that arise that just really just turn your day around. You know?
Okay, give me one. Give me one.
Well, we have. I mean, this year we had one where we knew, again, this is a festival in a resort town, so everything has to be pre-planned months in advance. And we had an issue with just risers on a stage, where it was forwarded that these are the risers that we have. Everybody okay it, and then there was miscommunication between tour manager and crew and staffing and stuff when everything was submitted late. And, that's something that, at the last minute, we have to find, more risers, and it's knowing who in Steamboat Springs would have risers and how to get them over. And we did it. That's what we do.
Some hotel room, banquet hall had some in the back closet.
It's stuff like that. We know the local sound company, and it just happened, for us.
So that's what you're dealing with? Like, how is all this gear getting up on this mountain?
Most of it is backstage sound.
And where are they out of?
College Station, Texas.
Wow, that is a drive.
Isn't it? Yeah, they've been working. They've been the main production crew on that festival for like 20-something years now.
There's nobody in Colorado and Denver that y'all can just get it right there. They already know the roads. They know how the weather is.
Well, there is, and that would probably be easier. But
see how my pre-production job coming in handy?
No, we've had a really good relationship with this company for a long time.
Relationships is one thing, but I mean that's a long way, man.
It's mutually beneficial.
Yeah, it's mutually beneficial, and the sound company knows a majority of the bands and the crew.
Because, they work with majority of these, I don't want to say Texas acts, but a majority of these guys.
I'm like the new guy that comes in, I fire everybody.
Just trying to streamline it.
Yeah.
I feel like the one thing that I know backstage does that, when I first got involved, there was a local company doing it, and the reason that I ended up getting involved was because the local company, their system wasn't running correctly, and I just repatched things and got it running to make the festival go on.
So you were responsible for backstage sound?
I'm not going to say I was responsible for backstage sound, but it definitely them coming together with John Dixon and stuff and figuring out something. What we get out of backstage sound isn't just sound and lights. It's, they know how to, when a generator goes out, and it's 3 hours for the generator guy to come out, we've got a guy that can go out there and in 10 minutes get the generator running so we can continue on with our show and stuff like that. Those are the little things that you don't get from just hiring. Okay, we're going to hire a company out of Denver, but they're not going to touch the generator. And if our doors can't open on time, that's
I see that. I'm following the logic here.
We're always making sure that no matter what, shows go on schedule.
Oh, yeah.
And people can get into their venues.
Who makes the schedule?
That would be Mr. Dixon.
Okay. Follow-up question. Do Adam or Matt, do any of you guys have a Dixon Productions baseball cap?
No. We both have Carhartts.
Yeah. I guess I got some Carhartts.
You got jackets?
Yeah, I don't have any Dixon hats.
I've seen the caps before. I think he even wore his own.
Oh yeah, no, they make them. There's
man, I
there's
never
a bunch
got
of different
one.
style. Well, it's Music Fest. It's not Dixon.
They used to give you the vest, the winter vest.
Oh yeah,
We always get the vest.
Yep.
Mine had a spider on it that year.
Those were good.
Those were really good vests.
I don't know what brand that was.
That's a Spider Co. or Spider.
I think
whatever.
it's just called Spider.
Yeah. SPY.
Spider Co's a knife, I believe.
Oh yeah,
that's
Spyderco
what you're thinking of. Yeah.
You're thinking of that? Yeah, that's a knife company.
It's a good knife.
It's not as good as my knife here.
What do you got? A Kershaw?
Yeah.
No, dude, I have
I got a little Kershaw.
I can't even read it. Benchmade.
Nice. I've got a Kershaw and a Harley Davidson knife.
We can save this little part here for our knife podcast.
Knife podcast.
Yeah.
Bad knife.
Everyone in Texas carries a pocket knife.
Oh, yeah.
Is Kershaw paying y'all for this? Actually?
I wish.
We'll get a few.
We get some Kershaws.
Okay, even more of an aside. I was going to the Moody Theater. I might have said this before on the podcast, but I'll do it again since it's knife talk. So you have to go through the security pat down, right?
Yeah.
Take everything out of your pockets. And I had my pocket knife. It's like, oh no. I got my pocket. What am I going to do? I'm not going to walk all the way back to my car. I'd rather just go home at this point. So I put everything in my hands. You take your hands left and right, spread them out, and they pat you down
frisky.
everywhere else. They never look at your hands.
What?
And then I open my hands up and I go, oh, my pocket knife's still in my hand.
Nice.
And then I put it in. Actually, I put it in my pocket. Don't do the clip thing. And I go and watch Whitesnake.
Wow. Man.
Yeah, Whitesnake.
How was Whitesnake?
Hey, how was
It was
Whitesnake?
great,
Yeah,
dude. It was great. Everyone that in his band sang
Nice.
better than him at this point. It's over for Coverdale.
Yeah.
It's over.
Aw, poor Coverdale.
Okay, so he makes the schedule.
Yeah.
Man, that's got to be a committee. There's no way one person could do. That's like doing a schedule for like the football, like the NFL or something.
I mean, it's 12 different venues.
How many
and
bands we talking?
I think there's around 70 different artists this year.
Yeah.
And, not all of those are bands. Some of them are just like,
Just acoustic acts.
acoustic acts here and there. But it was 70, yeah, 70.
How many of those were
different-
female? Oh, here we go.
I felt like we actually
Pretty
had
good
a
amount,
lot.
yeah.
Because we had the Trishas, then we had, I think Jamie did a solo thing.
Jamie had one.
Sonny Sweeney.
Caitlin
Butts.
Yeah. Bree.
No, that's
Bree.
Caitlin Butts / Flatland.
Oh, she played without Flatland.
Oh no!
Yeah, no, she had her
no
own
way.
show. Yeah.
Really?
She did her own
Yeah,
thing.
she had a couple of her own shows.
I thought she was contractually
Obligated
to only do shows
with Flatland.
with Flatland. Sometimes I call them Flatline Calgary. That should be like if there's a cover band, that would be the cover band
That's
name.
their drunk band name.
Yeah, when they're drunk, they turn into Flatline Calgary.
Yeah.
Who else do we have? We've got
Kimberly Dunn.
Yeah.
She was
She's
up there.
great. The Mastersons. are
Mastersons.
kind of-
Okay.
What you call it? Leanne Womack.
Leanne. God, I feel like we're forgetting some.
So way more than last year or in years past.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think it's just becoming more and more. We're just getting more female
There's a
acts
lot
out.
more. Yeah. There's
So
a
you
lot
think
more
BadTruth
female.
Podcast has something to do with that? Remember when I went
I
ape
do.
shit on
Oh,
that
yeah.
one
Did y'all
podcast?
have one?
Oh,
Yeah.
dude, I went off.
We had, yeah. I think
Where
that's
are
the reason.
where are the female acts?
They can thank
For
us.
what, in
for
general
sure.
or like at festivals?
At
or like
festivals.
at music Okay.
Because
yeah.
we broke down the Texas music festivals, and last year's Music Fest had the most female acts of any.
Is that right?
Of any Texas festival.
Well, they might have the most acts total. Though,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the
So-
percentage.
Yeah, no
is-
kidding.
And you were doing like really bad math too.
Yeah, well, it's Bad Truth, so might as well be bad math.
Heyo.
Okay. Wait, was Bree there?
Yeah.
Yep, Bree was there.
Did y'all mention her? I didn't hear.
Yeah. She had a couple shows up there. She did
Yep.
at least 2 or 3 shows.
Yeah.
Okay, so there was plenty of females up there.
Yeah, the Trishas reunited, and Shiny Ribs had his females background singers.
Okay.
Man,
so,
Shiny Ribs kicked some butt.
All right. So let me throw this at you. Dealing with the male acts versus the female acts, who gets the information? Who's more like when I say professional, I'm not saying bigger or better. I'm saying who is like on time, got their stuff together, gets the information to you.
I wouldn't even go by male or female. I would just say
Yeah.
crew. It's all based on their crew.
So, yeah, crew or tour managers.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that's
Well,
the same.
it goes from the top down though.
The tour manager's always getting the info, and
Right.
whether or not that they make sure their artist is there or not.
So
is
y'all,
always
so
the
you're
thing.
saying you're declining to answer that question.
I just don't think there really is.
There wasn't a difference.
Yeah.
There wasn't a difference. I wouldn't say female acts are
Like
on
you-
time more than male acts. I would just
Like
say
Sonny shows up and you guys are, oh, this is so great. She's got her act together. This is good.
it's more. Honestly, I would say it's more crew based. When you see like different crew members, you're like, okay, this is going to be easy. Sound check's going to be easy. Loading's going to be easy.
Okay.
It's I mean, look at Wade has some of the most equipment that he's bringing on stage for that final show, and it's always easy. It's a lot, but it's always easy because his crew is just
They
like,
know
okay,
what they're
this goes
doing,
here, this
yeah.
goes that. We have our hands and we get them in and get them out. It's always a crew thing. Or like anytime, I remember a few years ago, we had to make up some time on stage because a band went over on their sound check, and Casey Donahue was the next one up, and we knew their crew members, and it was just like, guys, I hate to ask this for you, but can you guys do a sound check in 30 minutes, set up and sound check in 30 minutes? And they did it in 27. They were just pro. They were like, yeah, no matter. Cool.
Was Wheezy with them during that time?
No.
Okay.
I think Wheezy was still with Krager back then when that happened.
What year was that?
I don't know. It would have been 3 or 4 years
Wait,
ago.
Wheezy left
Might have been Dave.
left PG
that
to
time.
go to Krager? No way.
Wheezy was with Krager for a bit, I think.
Really? After
I think
PG?
one year he was up there under.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, I'm blanking on that.
Yeah.
We don't.
Sometimes those crew guys just.
Are we allowed to talk about Donahue on this podcast?
Dude,
With Matt
Donahue,
here?
they were. He's talking about the
Yeah.
Kyle thing. Donahue, let me say, was awesome to
Yeah,
work
we didn't even
with
say
this
who
year.
Matt
Yeah.
works with. We
yeah.
did zero introduction.
Yeah.
Like people know
people
what's
don't even
going
know.
on.
Matthew Naftis works for
Kyle Park.
Yeah.
Yeah.
KP.
You think he's beneath me? I'm here all week.
No, I don't know what's going on with Casey and Kyle right now. They're
It's stupid.
hey man,
I wish they were doing it
smart.
on. If they were doing it on purpose, I would have more respect for them. If they're doing it to be like butthurt with each other, then that's dumb.
man, I don't know. It's
I don't know anything.
I
when
get
are y'all
asked
going
about
on-
it often, and I just
When are y'all going on tour together?
I don't know. I'd actually love to do one. We're talking to
Would you call it?
the powers that may be, see if we can make that happen. Get like a
I can see it now.
some
the
of
whole
those
back,
sumo suits
Little
on
boxing
stage.
ring.
You know what I'm saying?
the
Yeah.
whole-
Big old blow up boxing gloves.
the curtain, like the drop down for the tour would be like park benches and trees, and you would call it Donahue Park.
Hey, we'll take that.
Man, I think you were working on that for a couple hours.
I worked on it just now when I said it.
Might be onto something.
Donahue
No,
Park.
that'd be fun.
It'd
We'd
be
love to do
Donahue
that with
throwing a
them.
frisbee to Kyle.
Wow.
Yeah. No? Okay.
That was pretty good though.
Is it? All right, so you get the gear. All the gear comes from Texas.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
The scheduling is done
In the Dixon office.
in the Dixon office. You get said schedule, and you're like, okay,
It's just immediately
backstage
like,
sound.
let's
This
begin.
is where we're going. You're going here. This is going there.
Yep. They, and it's everybody's been doing it for so long that a lot of bands automatically just they see what time they play, they look at their schedule, and then they already advance it with backstage. So and we have our stage managers follow up just to make sure, but a lot of it gets done.
And if the tour manager's really paying attention, we send an advance that's like 20-something pages long, and if you actually sit there and read it, it's so detailed, and majority of it, all their answers are all their questions are answered if they just kind of go through that. You could always tell, those day of text messages when you're getting.
Is there anything in that 20 pages that says "bring warm clothes"?
I think there is.
I think there's something
think
about
there's
dress
something,
appropriately,
yeah.
especially for the outdoor shows.
No. Do we need the Top of the Mountain show anymore? That is awful. That is not fun.
We actually
Nobody can
added
say
a day
that's fun.
to it this year.
was gonna
It's
say.
been 2 days for
How many
for
times has that been
years.
snowed out by weather over the years?
I can say in my 18 years, it's been snowed out 4 or 5 times.
Yeah, they keep
Those
two
were
of the
lucky
days.
years.
Yeah, just in case like the winds are too high and the gondola can't get up the mountain. But yeah, in my 10 it hadn't happened, so obviously it was before
Yeah,
that.
it was a while back, and it's like I saw shows where there was still a line wrapped around the gondola after it hit capacity of people waiting, hoping people were going to come down so they could get up. So it's like, as a fan, it's one of their favorite shows.
Oh yeah, it's a busy stage.
Every show hits capacity.
So there's no Chipotle up there.
No sir.
There's no
sir.
Chipotle.
Is there
There's a pizza
Starbucks?
bar.
Is there a Starbucks?
I think they may serve.
They serve Starbucks coffee.
Yeah, they may serve.
They serve Starbucks coffee.
the Sumatra.
The pizza place is still there? I've eaten there.
Yeah, there's the pizza place in the
Yeah,
Gondola Square.
at the Gondola Square
Yeah.
one. Yeah, it just changed name. Used to be called Gino's. Just changed to something else.
Giovanni's.
Yeah, something. Yeah,
Giovanni's.
something along that. Yeah, something with
Ooh, somebody's taking Italian
pepperoni
class.
in the title.
Giovanni.
Uh-huh.
All right. What would be your what has been like a nightmare circumstance that's happened that you'd had to like fix or not fix?
honestly, I
Like
know
power. Like, where do you get all the power from?
What were some nightmares?
generators.
When the heaters go out in the tent, that's kind of like
Everybody get together.
Well, and it's what's worse is when we do have warm spells and then cold spells, because in the tent, if it snows and the snow gets on top of the tent and stays there, and the heater's in there, well, all of a sudden, it basically moisture rises and then starts falling, so we have a little rainstorm.
I like the way you said moisture rises.
So there's like this actual cloud up at the top of this giant tent, and it just starts raining.
It just starts raining on the gear, but everybody's like, we've known it happens every year. So anytime we have snow, so we're just used to it.
We when I say we, I mean Pat Green. We did one year where half the stack fell. You remember that?
I don't remember that.
It like vibrated itself off. I remember like our crew guys are like, wow, and they're like trying to hold it up and push it back in its spot.
Oh, I do kind of remember that.
It was staged right, if you were wanting to know.
In the tent?
In the tent.
That's back before everything was flown.
That was before me, man.
That was before everything's flown.
No,
now,
that stuff wasn't flown at all. It was just stacked.
Yeah.
That's insane.
I think that was sounds like the stage wasn't level. Which
Yeah.
Okay, so ideally you would want backline. Does it matter how big the band is? You still want backline? Like, what if they want to bring their like lights or gear or something like that?
There's a few stages where it's completely easy to pull a bus up or a trailer up. It's just the ones where you can't get a vehicle to. You can't get the band bus to. That's the ones where like, dude, let's just use what we already brought up here.
How much would that make it easier for you guys if it was majority backline?
Oh, it'd be fantastic if I didn't have to worry about parking buses and seeing how to fit 10 buses in a little bitty parking lot. Yeah, it'd be great.
Do bands really need to drive up there in their bus? I mean,
it depends if they're routing or if they're heading out west or heading somewhere else. It makes sense for them too. But no, I mean I wouldn't. I had to stop driving a trailer over that mountain just because it's freaking terrifying.
I've heard of buses with trailers getting stuck.
Oh, every year,
can't get out.
Every year, somebody gets stuck somewhere.
Then why let them drive down there?
Hey,
it's their choice. It's so weird.
I don't know if it's cheaper than
all right. Let's break this
buying
down.
all your band and crew plane tickets or what it is.
Let's break this down into like levels. Let's do levels. Okay, you're the acoustic duo. You got you and like an acoustic person. What's the ideal arrangement? Would you like fly up there and just play your acoustic? You don't.
I
need
would
to
fly.
Yeah. Just fly up there.
Yep.
Okay, let's move up to the next one. Van and trailer. The van and trailer band guys. That's a disaster. I've heard so many of the trailers getting stuck.
And the van, kind of like what Mike and those guys did. I was like, guys, just leave your trailer in Denver. Mike and the Moon Pies.
okay.
Sorry.
There's a lot of Mike bands out here.
Yeah. They just left their trailer in Denver, brought their essentials like their piano and a steel guitar or something like that. Then they used all
backline,
all the core stuff that we already had.
It's more efficient on fuel because you're going up a mountain for 3 hours.
Yeah.
And you don't have. I remember years ago we had South Austin Jug Band, and they were doing the Suburban and trailer, and they hit Rabbit Ears Pass, and they just said that the Suburban started going to the right, and then the trailer came up and met it, and they had a perfect indentation where the trailer hit the back left of the Suburban, and they smashed into each other, and they spun for a little bit, and then just finally stopped.
That's insane.
And I'm just like,
yeah,
nope.
we drove our Dixon Productions. We had a gooseneck trailer we pulled up for years, and just finally about 5 years ago it almost pushed us off the mountain. We were like, dude, never again. And it's lived out in a field in Steamboat ever since.
Yeah, we just store it out there now.
Yeah.
So what do you tell van and trailer guys if they're not getting paid much at that level to come up there, and they're probably doing like four shows or more, half of them broken down, and maybe one band show?
We just always tell them there's backline available.
Yeah, it's available, and we let the headliners know that, hey, guys, this is available, but everybody needs to share it. But, hey, some people...
Can a van afford to fly?
Well,
it depends on how you buy your tickets early enough. I mean,
a lot of them route gigs up and back, though. That's how they do it.
Well, in that case, yeah, if they got gigs routing, then that answers your question right there. They're just...
But should they, or should they just fly and just call it what it is and then fly home and then...
if that works for their business plan, I'd recommend that.
Because they're not going to make money playing at some crap bar in Denver on the way.
Yeah,
You know, never been out of Texas. They're playing Steamboat. Hey, let's try to get some other Colorado shows. And they're just losses.
Yeah.
They're trying to help the band guys out, which...
And there are a few of those bands who come up to play Music Fest, and there's a couple little bars in town that may hire them here and there, and well, Music Fest doesn't provide backline for those bars because there's their own deal.
The problem.
So, yeah. And that goes with what you just said.
Yeah.
The same as routing gigs in Denver. It's pretty much the same thing.
And the big bands, like the ego bands in this state, they got check me out. I got a bus. What do you tell those guys?
It
because January's
wasn't as
tough.
bad. It's year by year. More of them are flying. They're kind of just getting it. It's like, man, it just isn't that good of an idea to bring your bus up there. If you don't have to, a lot of guys are just flying it in right now.
You go on that mountain. You're in your. Let me describe it for you as a musician. You're in your bunk.
Terrifying.
It's nighttime. Yeah. You're going up the mountain. You can hear the gears on the okay, we're going up, right? It's like it's the roller coaster.
Yeah.
Right? You're in your bunk. It's late. You're trying to go to sleep, and you hear the brrr, the drive-by braille.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hey, you still awake?
You hear that, and then you don't hear it again. Usually it's like, drr, drr, and you're back over again. You hear it that one time, and you're like, there's a split second. Are we falling? Yeah. Like your stomach's like, are we off the mountain? Are we off the mountain right now?
Yeah.
Yep.
You can't sleep.
No, I couldn't sleep on a drive up that mountain. No way.
You can't sleep, man. It's scary. You're in your bunk just like, I guess this is it. I'm already in a coffin, so I guess we're good to go.
I'm with my buddies, hopefully.
Yeah, we're already there.
Hope you like
I'm
everybody on
halfway
the bus.
dead.
I feel like, especially if Steamboat is a part of a tour or a part of a run, I think the smartest thing is to find a place to leave your stuff in Denver and come up. And more bands, the Moon Pies did it this year. I think Krager's done it in the past and stuff where it's just like, what?
Absolutely.
I'm just going to bring my guys up. Even taking a shuttle, take one of the shuttles up.
So would you just park the bus?
Yeah, find a place to park
I think,
it,
what Stony actually did this year, they just sent their trailer up with like a 3/4 ton truck, just pulled it up here, and the guys all flew in. So they needed their gear in that instance, but figured out something you didn't have to bring the bus up.
Do you ever get in these conversations beforehand with like maybe Dixon and say, hey man, maybe we can try to get this trend going? Like I feel like this event has happened so many times and it's getting bigger as far as the bands and adding days and stuff. But here's my question, how I would make things different. I would make it unique. It's like, look, what's the difference of seeing your full band show here in Texas versus seeing your full band show up there? There's no difference really at all, except you're freaking freezing up there.
Yeah.
Like the other thing is, this is what I would do. I wouldn't even have the full big rock shows. I would have the big light shows.
Yeah.
Like go big on production as far as that goes, but I would have a more intimate in the round, bro. I'm not saying like a guitar. No, that's actual band is playing, but I would make it somehow different where it was more, I don't want to say like unplugged, 'cause that just sounds lame, but like it's a full band, but it's just not the full force.
Yeah, just a different vibe.
And
different
I would make
feel
it
for the room.
Yeah, well, here's making a feel for the room is what I'm going for, where you make it more of a fan appreciation thing. I'm not saying a fanfare like a Nashville, but I would say more appreciation where you may even have time for like questions or a request to play. Like, can you play like a verse chorus of this one song that you never ever play? I would make it more intimate where you're on the big stage or you're in the tent and it's very personal and intimate. And in fact, I wouldn't even put the stage in the back. I would put it in the middle. I would make it like in a round when you have the stage, have everybody around you, and I would let them
arena style.
Let them like ask questions and get to know the band. Like I said, more like a fan event.
Well, what's funny
less as this is the same shit we do back home and any other event. Let's go do it up here.
John actually does put some of those shows together. And they're always fantastic. I mean, he's got the tribute show every year, which is just unique. You don't get that tribute show anywhere in Texas, but I think a lot of it has to do with the artists. I mean, this year they did the 806 songwriter thing where
the Lubbock guys came out.
Wade and William Clark Green and Josh Abbott and stuff did an acoustic deal. And that was cool. That was in the tent, and that was really successful. Like, everybody got into that because they hadn't done that down here.
All right, my thinking is to get less gear up there and maybe even less band members. Sorry, other band guys.
Well, when you got something, the reality of it is
I'm saying
12 stages and just so many people. You gotta have something for everybody, And there are. I see what you're saying, and there are several stages.
I'm not saying don't have the big, huge show.
Sure,
I'm just saying. Having more of a fan oriented,
intimate, something more intimate where the crowd can.
They do. I mean, look at like the acoustic up top at Thunderhead. That's always like Stoney and Friends.
Hell, I feel half the Bear River shows. The late night Bear River shows are kind of like that.
Yeah, Hillier put 1100 Springs like 1100 Springs and Friends, and they did all old songs, and they thought about it and rehearsed it up with these artists, and it pulled it off great. It was a packed, sold-out show, capacity show.
I think there should be some, you advertise the bands themselves. Mm-hmm. It's on them. You advertise that it's going to be different up here. We're doing something different in Steamboat. We're making this more of an event, more for the fans themselves, and do something that's truly different.
And I feel like part of it is just on the bands themselves. It's just like, okay, you guys, why don't you take advantage of the situation you're in and do something different? And the ones that do always have a great turnout.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm trying to slim it down up here to make it more safe and to not be taking buses and vans and getting stuck. There's always, tell me, every year there's somebody stays the extra day, and what happens if you stay the extra day in Steamboat?
Oh yeah, normally you get stuck in the snow. Yeah, some weird snowstorm hits.
Yeah.
It definitely happens a lot. I feel like the problem with it isn't the festival itself. It's teaching bands that, hey, it's fine to fly in. It's fine to use backline.
You don't need that badass amp you travel with in Texas. You know what I'm saying?
That's probably going to bust its tubes because it came right out of the trailer and you turned it on because you didn't know that you need to let it acclimate.
We have our own lights. I promise you don't need those set up behind you.
You don't need that light.
But I get the guys who if somebody travels 1,000 miles with a light package. I get it. Boss man's going to want that up.
Yeah. I think they want to. I think they want to do they want to do it up, but I think they're doing it in the wrong way. And they're doing it in the same way instead of doing it in a different way. That's equally as cool.
Well, sometimes you want to have your distractions on stage. And then if you make it intimate and don't have your distractions, maybe then people will notice things about your band.
Maybe you take a question or two.
Yeah.
Hey, so I got a question for you. So Kyle, when's your bass player actually going to learn that song right? You get those questions going.
You know what's funny is Dung Beetle is actually a good acoustic stage where people there's interaction. There's I watched the Johnny Burke show and he was talking to the crowd and the crowd was talking back and people were asking for songs and stuff and it was awesome.
Kyle Hutton actually did something in the media lounge with the Real Live, I forget what it was.
Real Texas music, Real Life, Real music.
Kyle.
Okay,
Park
media lounge. Is that for fans? Can fans go to a media lounge?
Yeah,
okay.
Absolutely. It's another one of the venues in the Grand Hotel.
What's your favorite venue there? You say you like Dung Beetle?
Ooh.
Dung Beetle is one of my favorites because it is acoustic and intimate.
I've always liked the Bear River, personally.
It's fun to see. I know logistically it's a nightmare.
Oh, yeah. No, that part sucks.
I met a girl with a tongue ring there once, years ago.
No, I like
my first tongue ring. Just to put that out there. And yes.
I'm sure y'all made it to church.
I
prayed, if that's what you...
All right, yeah. That's kind of what I was talking about.
All right, so you like Bear?
Yeah, Bear's cool room. We bring in a bunch of dead animals to put on the taxidermy
Definitely.
stuff.
So you guys get to roam through different... I mean, obviously there's shows going on at the same time, right?
Oh, yeah.
So you guys are just roaming around
Pretty much. I'll hit up these 6 and Adam will be hitting up the other 6.
So
and
you
we'll
guys
kind of switch over.
You guys plan it out? Like, hey, what do you want? Y'all roll dice for it?
Yeah, where are you going right now? Blah, blah,
it's
blah.
a lot of that. Where are you at right now? Okay, I'll go over here.
Yeah,
and
I'll get the ones over on this side
What
of
do
town.
I use to communicate?
That'd be
text.
Text messages.
So service is okay up there.
It's way better.
Yeah.
Years ago, the only service there was AT&T, and it was bad.
No,
Now they actually put cell towers up, and it's
Don't walk on the slopes area. I don't know what it's called. I don't ski. Don't walk on that area at night when the snow plow's coming through.
No,
because he
I wouldn't
can't see
recommend
you.
it.
It's dark, and you can't. You're like literally like knee-high snow trying to walk through that drunk, trying to cut across, and that thing's coming. Can't see you.
yeah.
So don't do that.
Did a friend tell you this, or do you
No,
got a
that's
little personal
experience, dude.
experience? All right.
It's just right there. Let's just walk across.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Oops.
like 10 seconds for each step, and that you see that dude out there at night. That's not good.
Yeah, I've definitely stumbled down the side of a hill thinking it'd get me to my condo a lot faster, only to realize it was waist deep and I'm wearing blue jeans. Yeah, man.
So your legs are blue.
Oh, it's just awful. Just terrible.
Yeah, you ever get that?
Oh, yeah.
I used to wear long johns, the real long johns. I think they call them thermal underwear now.
Thermal underwear.
There'll
Yeah,
always be
like
long
that kind.
johns. Oh, you're wearing some now?
Yeah.
Yeah, the pants under
yeah,
your
yeah.
jeans. And then you're in the snow, and then you come home, and there's like blue
Yep.
all over your long johns. Thanks.
Yep.
Yeah. I've been there.
All right, so we've talked about kind of what you guys do. It's still a little hazy. And then who does the scheduling, the power, getting where the gear comes from, the pluses and minuses of traveling there versus flying, what venues you like. All right, so let's talk about the stupid shit that happens. Like the person who's never skied or snowboarded before decides to go and do. First of all, okay, pick one. You're a musician or you're an athlete. You can't do both. You can't do both. Like, even athletes have clauses in their contracts where they're not allowed to go like water skiing or do 4-wheel driving and stuff, right?
Yeah.
So
Correct.
what are you doing going out there on Black Diamond and smashing up your shoulder or breaking a leg or arm in a sling? That's not cool.
Oh, poor Parker.
But it happens
Poor
every year,
Parker.
though.
Yeah, he got a good one this year.
Who was last year? There was someone last year.
A couple years back,
And Cody Banks, he's like every time now.
Cody Banks had a
He
pretty
walks up
good-
there, the EMS
Agent
guy
Cody
goes,
Banks had a good story.
"Hey, what's
Hey,
going on? Look, he's walking."
A couple years ago, one of the guys from Folk Family Revival broke his wrist right before a show.
Oh, yes. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
But they could still get through the show.
Yeah, they went through the show. I think he just didn't play, or maybe he did play and he just kind of dealt.
Yeah.
It was his wrist, so I guess it somehow worked out.
This was the first year that I know of where an artist couldn't perform his show.
Oh, man.
Because between sound check and showtime, he wanted to do one more run.
I think, if it would have happened to him about an hour before and
Yeah.
those meds would have kicked in, he probably would have
He probably would have been able to pull the show off.
Oh, I don't think the poor guy could put a guitar on his shoulder,
No.
let alone sing.
Or it was so drugged up once it happened because he
So-
snapped his collarbone.
So this is, what's his name? Parker?
Parker
Parker
McCollum,
McCollum.
And he is a collarbone?
yeah. Oh man, there's
a skateboard injury right there.
his tour manager Jake sent me a picture of the I guess the X-ray of it. I was like, dude, if that's not the next year's Music Fest T-shirt,
Yeah.
you're failing at life.
That should be his laminate.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a good one. Yeah.
It's just, yeah. I mean, that was a snap. Did he make it back at the end of the set? So what we ended up
Oh
having,
no, he was there. Yeah, he was.
So did the band get paid for this? Did the band get screwed then?
that's a
I don't
good-
know.
Boss man decides he
man.
wants to be Olympic skier or whatever, and now I can't. I'm stuck up here buying
and can't play any
Yeah.
shows.
buying
that's,
$25 grilled chicken sandwiches.
That's a
With
a
soggy
weird
fries.
situation.
Yeah, that's amongst their business right
Yeah.
there. We
Thanks,
don't know
boss.
about that.
I'm broke. What do y'all do? Withhold the check? Obviously, you paid them. They paid him half to get up there,
I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, that I have no idea about.
so that's a level above y'all.
yeah, that's above our pay
me.
grade.
What would you do?
And I don't know what I would do. That's a good question. I might see if they can do some shows back in
Yeah,
Texas
maybe.
for us.
Yeah.
All right.
I think
I feel bad for the band guys that have to suffer for the idiocy of the boss man.
I laughed at the fact that I get the call from you, and then it's immediately like, it's just immediately, okay, how do we solve this
Oh,
problem?
dude, I must have called 30 people in that
And that-
10-minute stretch. Just, hey, man, want a gig?
It's
Hey, what
'cause
are you doing,
It's
man?
a capacity venue that he was headlining.
Yeah.
And suddenly he's not going on stage. And what we ended up having was...
Did you call female artists first? No, you don't. Looking at y'all's faces. Y'all called more dudes.
What finally happened, and it was really cool, so the Cody Johnson band had just played on the outdoor stage, which pretty much backs up or whatever, noses up to the Bear River.
Yes.
And those guys just happened to be there, and they're...
How do they fit all that baggy clothes on stage? Are they like rubbing up against each other with those pants?
But their manager called, and he's like, "Hey, these guys want to do it." So it was pretty much the Rockin' CJB, just played a set and had a fill in, you know, had rotating singer.
Well, that's good. They were able to bail out.
Yeah, it worked out. It was cool. It was one of the more popular shows in the in that room that year.
And it's kudos for the band that got to do an extra show.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it was great. They were all enjoyed it. And hell, I mean, really, it was one of the
Everybody liked it. Yeah.
good shows in the Bear River this year. I wish I could have stayed longer, but it was too damn packed. I had to.
Yeah.
So
hang
do
out
y'all
in the kitchen.
work?
Do y'all do, after it's all over and done, is there like a meeting or an email or a text thread group where y'all get together and go, what can we do better next year? Or this is what didn't go well. Do y'all ever do that?
There's a debriefing meeting. Debriefing. It kind of happens a couple. You know, they just had one in the office. A lot of the office staff. I was out on the road, and I don't think Adam has put together stuff.
How many years have you done it?
This was my 10th year this year.
Wow.
And this Adam's like 18th, I think.
18th year.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
I think I haven't done that in 10 years. It's been great.
I think last time you did it, the tent was still by the gondola.
I don't even remember. I couldn't tell you anything.
Yeah. Now it's moved.
Yeah, we just kind of have an ongoing notes page that says what needs to get fixed, and we're pretty good about changing that over, because this is, you know, it takes us 6 months to do this, more or less 6 months of full-time staff.
So they're contacting you throughout the year?
Yes. And
I'll work in the office come August. I'll help them out.
Do you go down to what's that company in College Station again?
Backstage Sound.
Do they ever upgrade their gear?
Yeah.
They do.
I was
so
gonna
they go, hey, dude, what, you got any new stuff? Let's get the new stuff out here.
They keep it.
a lot of things change based on the fact that technology changes.
Yeah.
You know?
Hell, that
Yeah,
changes
the
every,
monitor
3, 4,
and
5 years.
The front of house and the monitor is the same console now, right? It's a small
Depending
little
on
Sure
visual
can
thing.
be.
some
yeah.
of the smaller venues, yeah. And we have, like, people can come in with their own rigs and their own, you know, USBs and plug in their show and go, which is great.
Yeah, that's cool. What were you going to say, Matt?
I forgot. What was I talking about?
Your beard's growing in nicely. I
Thank
gotta
you,
say.
man. It's
really
definitely
He's
the
got
cold
good
in
beard on.
Steamboat.
Yeah,
it's-
you actually have a beard. When I say beard, it's like it's trimmed. It has a
Yeah.
shape. It's not like willy nilly jihadi.
Oh no, I try to keep it clean, man. It drives me crazy.
Adam's is looking a little jihadi.
Adam's is rad.
I need to trim it up. That's
The beard
for sure.
grows
Shut your
down.
mouth,
When
it's awesome.
When the beard
Thank
starts
you.
growing left and right, it's jihadi.
Yeah, that's the problem.
See, I like to say Amish.
keep the
No.
And that's because I
chops
grew
cleaned
up
up.
there.
The Amish, they trim theirs up.
No, their Amish ones go out. The proper Amish.
Really?
Yeah.
That's so they don't spill any of that bread they're eating.
Well, exactly. Yeah.
Save it for later.
Yes.
All right. Where are we at on this one?
We're almost 45 minutes in. What else you want to know about that?
Well, I want to
blaze through.
Well, how cold was it?
You know, it wasn't that bad this
Roads
year.
were clear.
Yeah, we drove in, and I mean, it was just like, it was colder in Austin than it was in Steamboat for half the time we were here.
I don't remember
You know,
that at all.
I haven't seen grass in Steamboat, Colorado in.
Oh, yes, you have.
I mean,
oh, wait.
yeah, right.
Well,
Sorry. Yeah.
There's some grass.
I'm like, what?
Right, yeah. I said that wrong. Well, I
Burner phone.
haven't seen the median in
Yes.
Steamboat ever in, you know, that time of year. But yeah.
So the
pretty
prices,
wild.
they lowered the prices for
No
like a little grocery store?
No shit,
Everyone,
no.
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 Resort town, man. Come on
It's
now.
resort
It's
town.
an $8 breakfast burrito.
Is there anything you would want to change or anything we look forward to for next year that you think that from your debriefing that you can able to tell me?
Man, I think
You
that
adding another venue? What are we doing? And nothing?
God, I hope not.
it's always funny. The new venues come in depending on who buys what. Because it's a resort town, so
Yeah,
it's,
man,
it
we-
sells
yeah, we-
off in sections.
Sure. That's the reason we had to get like 2 new ones because
Isn't there another festival going on at the same time in the same city? Isn't there like another thing going on?
No, there
that's totally
used to
different?
be.
Like
If you're thinking
rock
of
thing?
back in the Pat Green days, you're probably thinking of Ski Jam
Ski
that
Jam.
happened the week after,
Okay.
which was also a Dixon event. So that was us.
Where we would stay. We would
We'd
just stay
there
for most
like
of the month.
18 days. Yeah.
Y'all might not like this, but I've said this idea before. It's too hard to get people's clothes off when they're wearing so much clothes because it's winter.
Sure.
And when you're at a festival type thing, multi-day, why can't we do this at a beach somewhere? Beach venues, less clothes, same amount of alcohol.
You
Actually,
know-
it's probably more alcohol because it'll take longer to get drunk at sea level than it will
Yeah.
at 8,000
I don't
feet.
know. I would like to be
No.
do one of those like
Work
that
on that
one
tan.
year. Yeah, I wouldn't mind it. I like to.
Think what the crowd was
Yeah.
going to look like.
That being said, I think I'd like to keep the beach to myself. I think that's going
Really?
to be a vacation. I don't want to go to
Yeah.
So
the
you
beach
rather
and
do
work,
Crude
you know?
Fest where dirt is blowing, you're
Love
trying
that.
to eat catering and you're like crunching dirt.
Because it's just blowing
I
dirt.
love
And then
getting
mud.
dust off my console after
Oh,
a good crude fest.
All these drunk people out there, it's like,
Oh, isn't
get
that
them on the
fun?
beach.
Isn't that fun? Is crude fest done?
I heard. I think
think
Crude
they're- I
Fest.
think
Yeah,
they're-
Crude
I think
Fest is
they're
one of those
done, yeah.
festivals that they,
Oh,
they
thank
might
God.
they might say that Bad Truth killed Crude Fest.
Hey,
No, we exposed it.
We exposed.
You know
For
what?
what it is.
Bands deserve better. Deserve better. Fans deserve better, and the bands deserve better.
I had fun up there one or two times.
Okay. Well, it's not about. It's a business. We're
Yeah, I
running here.
got you.
It's a business. All right.
is
Is there
true.
anything that you'd like to change? That was it then. Nothing.
Man, I think I'd say one thing that changed this year.
Like, how about in February?
I said, well,
Well, do the festival in February? Oh, that's their Super Bowl, man. That would never work.
that would never work. The one thing that I noticed that changed that we had to adjust a little bit to was, I guess, the bus driver laws changed of when they go, like once they get behind the wheel and take off.
Oh, yeah.
Then there's a
I thought it was 450 miles still.
well, no, there's a time thing now.
It has to be a 10-hour break in
So,
between those 400 and some odd miles.
So
yeah.
basically, yeah, if we have somebody bring a bus up at a certain time, which used to be, okay, can you bring the bus up? The tent gets done at 10:30, so we're loading out. Can you bring your bus up at 11 or 11:30, and we'll load in the headliner of that next night? And suddenly, well, if the bus driver goes on the clock, as soon as he fires the bus up, now he can't drive, and if we've got to drive right after our gig, sort of thing, then we'd had to adjust and.
They're becoming pilots. They're like pilots now.
Yeah, and we have
Luckily,
to
that's
think more
the-
about that.
That's the buses that are after 2002. I think that is the case. We don't.
So
have
this
that
is
on our bus.
another example of why not to bring your bus up there.
It's just one more thing, one more hassle.
One more room, one more guy you're paying.
Sure.
Think of the money you're saving up there.
Well, think about the year that we did have, one of the years where it was extremely bad and every bus was
like-
tearing up fenders because they were having to put chains on, which bus drivers never want to put chains on, but when they finally did, the chains were tearing up the fenders
Sure.
underneath, and then
Because I mean, how often does a Texas country bus driver have to put chains
put
on?
chains on, exactly.
Once.
You know.
That's it.
And, probably in Amarillo.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, doesn't the batteries die when it gets to a certain, like the car won't start or something if it gets to?
We have to
they've
deal with
had to-
that.
Yeah,
We've
they've
had to
been
deal
jumped. They've been.
Yeah.
I think like the battery
Towed.
won't. You can't get enough juice. The battery is too cold for the battery to work to start the car up.
Typically,
Yeah.
they keep the generator running all week.
Yeah, usually that's what's going on in that bus parking lot.
Yeah, that's why it's like an ice rink
Okay.
down below it. Just
Yeah.
from the
Well, you heard
walk
my-
trip. Yeah,
All right, well, wrapping this up. Thanks for being here, Matt.
yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me, boys.
I'll go try the
It's fun.
restaurant outside and see how it is. I've
Yeah.
never been to the
Maybe
restaurant.
maybe we should get Bad Truth to do like a morning radio thing next year
Ooh,
in Steamboat.
that'd be pretty cool.
Why are you trying to get me up there?
Yeah, come on. I want to put you to work.
Are they going to fly me up?
I just want to
Yeah.
see you smile.
They're going to fly me up and put me up?
I think we'll see if we'll get a sponsor to fly you up.
How many people do you think got pregnant up there this year?
Oh, I imagine there was a few.
There's
Really?
Yeah, I know.
She's a sturdy limb to jump out on.
I remember we had one of our catering fellows. I noticed one time that 9 months after Steamboat,
That's right, yeah.
his first child was
Yeah.
born, and I was like, "Hey!" And we're like, "Yeah, Steamboat baby."
All right, so as Steamboat babies, that would be when? October?
Yeah, is that right?
October, November.
Yeah.
Depending on-
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Well, this has
September,
been the
October.
Steamboat.
This is the Steamboat
So
episode.
you're on the road, sorta,
Yeah.
as well as you can be.
Sure.
In this thing. You got any venues that are coming up that you're impressed with?
Oh, we got.
Not what's coming up. What's
Okay, I
something you're
gotcha.
looking forward to?
You know,
I was going to do a rapid fire, but I got so burned out on rapid fires. I'll give you one. Okay, look.
if you hadn't have said that, I could have told you about a couple cool ones coming up, but just nothing's really,
Yeah,
just the
welcome
same
to
old
Texas.
song and dance
Yeah,
right now. They're
Texas
fun,
country.
Hey, they're gigs. They're good to be. I'm just happy to be here, man.
We're just going to end this episode on just.
How many mules you got coming up in the next 3 months?
Oh yeah,
Drunken, Lucky.
Yeah.
Why couldn't they go?
Barn, Mule Barn. That's
Mule
one of them,
Barn.
right? Don't
Yep.
forget about that.
I always forget about the mule barn.
Is there a mule do?
Yeah. Oh, come on. We should end on that.
Oh,
All right. Naftis, thanks so much for coming on this episode.
thank
Do you
you
have
for having
social
me.
medias or anything you want to talk about?
if you want to check out my Instagram, it's Naftis, and it kind of shows some stuff we're doing down the road with Kyle, and
It's Naftis.
it's Naftis, just ITS.
How were you able to get that from that Mexican restaurant? Did they see it?
I guess I had
It's
it before they
Nipas.
got it. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Same old social medias, Bad Truth Podcast on everything. And
Yeah, give us some reviews on iTunes. You don't have to write anything. Just star it up.
just start up 1 star
Yeah.
because we're number 1.
Yeah, 1 star us.
All right. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.